There we go. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate it. So yeah, definitely. Hello traders. FX Picoletta here. So today is Wednesday and it is June 12th. So how is everybody doing today? Definitely a very big day as you can see on the US dollar today. We already had one big news event, which was the CPI news for the dollar. CPI news is right here, so definitely a pretty big news event today. Inflation only went down 0.1%, so I mean, inflation is still very high. We definitely still do not have that 2% inflation that Powell has been talking about for basically 2 years now. Basically, for 2 years now, he has been talking about the inflation being at 2% and that they probably were not going to be lowering interest rates until it hit 2%. So, anyways, I've been talking about this US dollar analysis for quite a while now, especially in the members area. I don't make videos for the US dollar anymore because I don't really get that many views on the videos that I make for the US dollar. But for me, the US dollar analysis is so very important. If you can figure out what the US dollar is doing, especially on the higher time frames like the 4 hour, daily, weekly, and even monthly time frame, then you pretty much know exactly what's going to happen to all these dollar pairs. Maybe not quite so much gold and the dollar yen, but definitely the rest of them. I mean, if you know what's going to happen on the US dollar, then you very likely know what's going to happen on the rest of the dollar pairs. So, definitely, to me, the US dollar is actually one of the top analysis that you can do. So we have news coming out in this. Normally during the live streams, I do take requests from the audience, which I will definitely be taking requests. But we really need to focus on what is likely to happen at this FOMC meeting that's coming out in about 25 minutes. So I definitely will take requests from people probably after the news comes out because we're going to have to wait for the press conference to complete too. So the news comes out at 7 o'clock UK time. And then the press conference starts at 7:30 UK time, and that press conference is going to last at least 40 minutes, probably 45 minutes. So it's literally going to be, probably a good hour in between these two news events where we can take requests from people in the audience. So I'll definitely do that. But as of right now, until the news comes out, this FOMC news, we definitely need to focus on the US dollar pairs and see if we can figure out what's going to happen with that. So, anyways, like I said, I've been talking about this for quite a while in the group, in my members group, and if anybody is interested for the membership, all you have to do is sign up on my website right here. It is only $30 a month. It's extremely cheap, and I keep it cheap on purpose because I want people to feel like they can afford it. But definitely been talking about this for quite a while, and this is actually an extremely clear pattern. We got a few minutes until the news comes out, so I just want to get rid of this Fibonacci level so I can just kind of do a little bit of a lesson right here because this is an extremely clear pattern if you know a little bit about Elliott wave. So if you put well, first of all, a regular flat is one, two, three waves up, one, two, three waves down. The wave A and the wave C of the wave B should be a trend, just like the wave C of the wave A and the wave A of the wave A should be a trend. So you have three waves up for a regular flat, you have three waves down for a regular flat, and then you have an impulsive uptrend, basically a five-way pattern if you go down to a little bit of a shorter time frame. So a regular flat is three waves up, three waves down, and five waves up if you're talking about a downtrend. It would be opposite if you were talking about an uptrend. So, like I said, this is actually something we've been talking about in the group for quite some time, for mostly pretty much all week since last week. Because if you know a little bit about Elliott wave, this is extremely clear right here. So, in order to figure out if this is a regular flat or not, a wave A, you put your Fibonacci retracement from the top of the wave A to the bottom of the wave A. Now, a wave B, if you're talking about a regular flat, should go right to the 90% Fibonacci retracement of the three waves of A. And look where price went. I mean, it tapped that 90% three times. Perfect 90%. Normally, I don't really pay attention to the 90%, but if you're talking about a regular flat, that 90% level is so extremely important. So we had three waves up, and then we had a downtrend. We had one wave up, we had a downtrend, three waves down, right to the 90% perfectly. Then once you get rid of that, you get rid of that Fibonacci, and you put your Fibonacci backwards like this. Whoops, sorry, I always do that wrong. You have to put your Fibonacci backwards in order to do this level properly. So well, actually, you probably could do it differently too, but this is how I normally do it. Probably you're better off doing it like this with the Fibonacci extension, to be honest with you. But either way, I don't think I have the 105 level. Yeah, I don't. I don't have the 105 level. I can add it real quick though. Let's see. 1.05. So we had a perfect 90% bounce on the wave B, and then you take your Fibonacci extension, you measure the wave A, you project it out the bottom of the wave B, and you're looking for 105% if you're talking about a regular flat. According to the Elliott Wave book, the Proctor book, it says 90% to 105% is normally where a regular flat will go. And look where price went. I mean, yeah, it definitely spiked above it, but it literally could not close above that 105%, which is exactly where the Elliott Wave Proctor Frost book tells you that a regular flat should go. So really, a little bit of Elliott Wave knowledge goes a long ways. If you know a little bit about Elliott Wave, you know where what Fibonacci levels should be respected in different kinds of patterns. It's really amazing what you can actually accomplish. And like I said, my membership does come with a trading course, which I do cover Elliott Wave. But one of the best ways to learn Elliott Wave is definitely to purchase the Frost Proctor book or the Gerald Sanders Elliott Wave book. But this is the trading course, which covers every single thing that you see here. It's 35 videos long. And like I said, one of the best things I recommend to people is that you actually buy the Gerald Sanders or the Elliott Wave Frost Proctor book. Definitely, that's the best way to learn. But before we move on, I want to just mention that it is only $30 a month. I do share every single swing trade that I take with the group at the time of entry. Also, I do live trading sessions or live analysis sessions every single weekday of the week. Every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we do a 90-minute meeting. And every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we do a 90-minute meeting for the New York session. So I do these live meetings with my members every single weekday. We look for trades in these meetings. One thing you have to realize if you do want to join my membership, which is at my website, fxpipcollector.com, that I am definitely not a short time frame trader. I'm not a scalper. I'm not even really much of a day trader. I'm definitely more of a swing trader. I like to hold on to my trades for at least a few days. So definitely keep that in mind if you do join my membership. You're never going to find me on the 5 minute, 1 minute, 15 minute, or even 30 minute time frames looking for entries. But if you are interested, definitely check it out at my website. My website's right here, fxpipcollector.com. If you're interested in joining my free Discord channel, 100% free, definitely check out my Discord channel, which is also linked in the chats of the video in the description. Hey Menu, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you. So let's see what we think is going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if news actually did cause a pullback, but I think that it's extremely clear what's going on. Let me switch to these white charts. Like I said, this US dollar analysis is kind of what gives it away for me that we are most likely in a wave three. I think this is very clearly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a downtrend. I think we're going down to make a wave C all the way down to either the 78 or the 100% Fibonacci extension. So if you have seen any of my US dollar videos, the top down analysis videos that I do every single day, then you probably already know what my analysis is on the higher time frames. I think we're either in a running flat wave C or an expanding flat wave C, which I think is very clearly the most likely scenario. Look at this thing on the weekly time frame. I mean, come on, if this was the 1 hour time frame, this would be a perfect pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, or WXY in this case, impulsive up. That is like such a picture perfect end of a correction right there. What happens at the end of a correction? You get a brand new uptrend. So that's why I've been saying for months now, you can go back and watch my videos, that the euro dollar is most likely in a wave three right now. So going down to the shorter time frames, like I said, I definitely originally thought that we were going to do a little bit of a spike reversal thing, and maybe even make the push up at the news tonight, this evening, but that's okay. Definitely didn't make that last little final push down. The euro definitely did make a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, but it didn't really do that little. Most of these other dollar pairs didn't really do a wave 5. I guess kind of there is a little bit of a wave five right there, but I was definitely expecting like a spike reversal thing before we actually went up. But I definitely still think that all the dollar pairs are in a wave three, especially when you look at them on the weekly time frame. I am extremely, extremely bullish. I think that we are literally in an uptrend that is potentially going to last probably all summer, probably even into the fall. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if some of these did go down today at the news, but I definitely think that it's an uptrend, and I definitely, definitely would be primarily looking for long still. To be honest with you, the pound dollar does kind of look like it could be a wave five. To be honest with you, one, two, three, four. ABC running flat wave four. Like I said, a little bit of Elliott wave knowledge goes a long ways. One, two, three waves down. One, two, three waves up. One, two, three, four, five down. A higher low wave five. That's a running flat right there, which we definitely also know what kind of Fibonacci levels to look for if you are talking about a running flat. But possibly this is a wave five. Now it is possible, right? Because where does the Elliott wave book say a wave five should actually end? A wave one, like a wave one of an uptrend that just started on the weekly time frame. Where should a wave one normally end? A wave one should normally end around the high of the previous wave X or the wave B or the wave four if you're talking about like the end of a trend. So this is a pretty likely place potentially where this actually could end and potentially start a big ABC cuts into the downside. But the thing is that I believe we are in a wave three on the much much higher time frames. If this really is a wave three on the much much higher time frames, then this is actually more likely to just literally just keep on trending. So I'm definitely extremely bullish. I'm not really interested in going short. I guarantee with this big push up today, almost everybody is going to be going short. And I have zero interest in going short. I mean, I do see on the higher time frames that it could be a wave five, and possibly it could, it definitely possibly could go down. It possibly could break structure, proving that it's a wave five. But I think that the odds are probably much, much better that it's going to keep going up. I think that the odds are probably extremely, extremely high that we're going to get spikes in both directions. It's probably going to go down like crazy. It's probably going to come back to the starting line. It's probably going to spike up, spike down, and then eventually I think it's going to take off to the upside. It's what I think is likely to happen. Just be aware that this news is going to cause spikes most likely in both directions. And most of the time, the first reaction is actually not the real reaction. But I definitely do not think that any of these patterns are over on the higher time frames especially. Now the pound dollar definitely looks like it could be a wave five, but the Aussie looks like a wave one and a wave two. It looks like literally the Aussie is starting a big old giant wave three on the daily time frame, which I think is exactly what's going to go happen. Now that doesn't mean that it might not spike down, try to stop everybody out, grab some liquidity from this big candle, and then come back to the starting line and bounce up, bounce down, and just literally be a complete crapshoot. But I definitely think that the trend is up, and I think the trend is most likely going to continue up once the smoke clears and once things clear out. I think that this is a wave one, two on the Kiwi dollar. Wave one, two, three, four, five. Wave one. I think this is a big old giant expanding, running flat wave two, and I think we're already in a wave three. And one of the major reasons why I think this is because of the US dollar index, which, like I said, if you can understand what the US dollar index is doing, then you pretty much apply that information to every single dollar pair. Except for maybe the dollar yen and gold, because the dollar yen definitely moves because of the yen quite often, and gold definitely moves on its own quite often. It does whatever it really wants to do. Gold is kind of its own beast in a way. So I think that I've been talking about this for quite a while. I think this is a wave one. This is either like an A and then like three waves down for a B and a wave C, or it's an A, B, C, D, E. I don't really care how you label it, whether you label it as an A, B, C, D, E, or whether I don't really care how you label it, to be honest with you. What's important is that this is most likely the end of a Kretzen. Labeling things is not really all that important. I mean, my mentor used to always, if you actually saw his charts, he literally didn't label anything. His Elliott wave was his major tool for monthly and the daily. That's pretty much honestly all he really even worried about. Everything below that was just looking for entries. That's kind of what I do too. I mean, I'm sure you notice on my YouTube videos on the sort of time frames. I'm not really labeling a whole lot. Mm, Charts are acting up again. Hold on, TradingView has been acting up today big time. I think too many people are on the charts, so maybe it's just my internet, but TradingView has definitely been acting up today. Hopefully, there it goes. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. So I think this right here is the end of a correction for sure. Now, don't get me wrong, it probably is going to go up. It's probably going to go down. It's probably eventually going to end up looking like that. But I think even if it does spike up, then more than likely it's just going to be a correction to the downtrend. US dollar Swiss, I mean, originally I was definitely thinking the dollar Swiss was going to go up, but I mean, if this does what the other dollar pairs are likely to do, I think it might just keep on trending down. I think this, we were looking at it today in the members meeting, and I actually think this might be the end of a wave C of wave 4, potentially on the monthly time frame. So, yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance that we could get another push down for sure. So, I don't really consider the US dollar yen much of a yen pair, much of a dollar pair. When I'm analyzing the dollar yen, I much prefer to compare it to like the euro yen, the pound yen, the Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, CAD yen, and Swiss yen. I think that the dollar yen moves way, way more because of the yen than it does the dollar. But honestly, I kind of feel like this could keep going up. But it probably would make a lot of sense if it actually went down and made like a proper A, B, C of wave 4 and then went up to for the wave 5. I definitely think we're probably either in a wave 4 still or we're already in the wave 5 on the daily, which obviously is a dramatically different analysis, but taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, it definitely doesn't look like a pattern that's over. It looks like a 1-2 and it looks like we're in the middle of a wave 3. I honestly do think that this might go up, but I think if it goes up, it's just going to be a trap for the sell, like a bull trap, and I think it's a little more than likely going to end up continuing the downtrend, in my opinion. Let's take a look at gold. Yeah, Sally. Well, I will take requests after the news comes out. We'll spend, about 40 minutes or so doing requests after the news comes out, and I will look at pretty much anything that you guys want me to look at. But right now, it is all about the dollar. It is definitely all about the dollar pairs tonight, 100%. Wow, gold definitely doesn't look very impulsive compared to the other dollar pairs, huh? I guess on the daily time frame, it does look pretty impulsive. It looks like three waves down, impulsive up. But boy, on the shorter time frames, it really doesn't look that impulsive, honestly. Boy, that does kind of look like it could be a crutch. And like I was saying, gold kind of does whatever the heck it wants to do. Man, gold really does look like it could possibly end up going down again, doesn't it? Huh. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that it's gonna go down, but I think the move down is more likely than not wave C, and then I think it's probably gonna do a spike reversal. The old porcupine pattern is what I like to call it. I think it's gonna go down for a wave C though. I don't really think it's gonna continue the downtrend. I think it's gonna be a bear trap on this one. But boy, on the like 1 hour to 4 hour time frame, it does look like it could be a correction to this move down. We are sitting right at the 50% fib level. It definitely could end up being a correction to this move down. I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly don't really trade gold that often, to be honest with people. I'm from the U.S. and in America, you actually cannot trade gold or silver or pretty much anything except for Forex pairs on a margin broker. So pretty much my whole career, I couldn't trade gold if I wanted to unless I opened a separate trading account, a non-margin trading account, or like a futures account or something. So I pretty much never traded gold pretty much my whole career, ever. Now I have a broker in Europe and I can trade gold if I want to, but I'm kind of a creature of habit, so I very rarely actually enter trades on gold. Gold is like one of the most popular pairs, but it's never really been my favorite pair. But to me, I think that, yeah, short term, I think it's going to go down, but boy, I think it possibly could go up. I don't know, on the daily time frame, it looks like it could just go up, and I definitely trust the daily more than anything. I think shorter term though, probably down is definitely going to be the direction initially. ABC. Maybe you'll even go down and grab these lows right here, really grab some major liquidity before it takes off to the upside. Probably pretty likely, yeah? So, how do we got for time? We got about 10 minutes. Oh, we don't. We have about 6 minutes, yeah. 6 minutes. Yeah, I think down short term, long, up long term. I totally agree with you on that. Definitely. And it might actually, I mean, we're coming into a pretty big news event. So it might even end up doing like something huge like that. It might even come back down and grab some of these lows, to be honest with you. It's going to be all over the place at the news. Normally, I do trade these news events. So, yeah, normally I do try to enter some sort of a trade at these news events. It's never gold though, to be honest with you. It's almost always, it's almost always the euro dollar or the pound dollar. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. You gotta trust what you see on the higher time frames, like we were talking about today in my Zoom meeting. Today, I mean, like I said, originally I thought the euro dollar was gonna go down and then up today, so I was like, I'm gonna scalp it to the short side, and then I'm gonna get out of my short and go long later on at this news. But yeah, instead of scalping it to the short side, it just took off to the long side. Because, like I said, most of these dollar pairs didn't really have a wave five. The euro dollar had a wave five, but pretty much everything else. I mean, in hindsight, I can say, okay, that's a ABC of four, and this is a failed wave five. Which, I mean, that's a truncheon wave five according to the early wave book. So now in hindsight, you can say, okay, that's a wave five. I mean, but at the time, the euro dollar was the only one that had a wave five, and the only reason the euro dollar had a wave five was because the euro's been so weak lately. So it was actually able to push down. All the other pairs ended up. I guess the US dollar CAD technically did have a wave 5 too, but pretty much everything else didn't. So, yeah, we don't have much time now. We got about 5 minutes. What does everybody think? Let me see here. I'm probably going to enter a small trade on probably the euro dollar like I always do. And when I say small, it's definitely going to be like dinner money. It's not going to be anything too dramatic because I mean, honestly, it's kind of like gambling at these news events. I mean, a lot of the times you can definitely predict it, and we definitely do predict it correct more times than not. Probably at least 60, 70% of the time we do predict it correctly, but yeah, sometimes you're wrong, and sometimes when you're wrong, you got to make sure you're trading small because you may have a stop loss like here, but because the market's moving so quickly, it might have slippage, and you might end up getting out way up here. So instead of risking $100, you might end up losing $300 if you're trading big, or maybe even $3,000 if you're trading big enough. So definitely be careful. Let's see what. All right, so we definitely ain't got much time left. So if you are gonna enter something, you're probably kind of better off doing it now or not at all, to be honest with you. Honestly, I kind of recommend that people don't trade the news, to be honest with you. It's especially this news event. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna spike all over the place. Definitely, it's gonna be a big mess. So if you are trading it, you're probably better off scalping it, to be honest with you. So what do we got for time? We got about 2 minutes. So let's see what happens. I was just chatting with my group. I am gonna enter a trade. It's gonna be with a pretty big stop loss, but It's going to be a small trade with a big stop loss, definitely, because it's kind of gambling. Like I said, you're kind of gambling when you're trading these big news events like this. 100%. So let's see what happens. Get your orders in or don't get your orders in. Boy, I can't imagine what the trader's sentiment looks like right now. I don't actually have that pulled up, but man, I'm kind of curious. I wish I did have it pulled up. Let's see. I do have it right here, so let's see. I bet the trading sentiment is like so. I bet almost everybody is selling the euro dollar right now. Literally, probably up 90% sells. I can imagine. Come on, this thing's gonna be really slow. I don't think we got time to watch it. All right, here we go. We got about 45 seconds. I'm gonna watch the euro dollar just because that's the one I usually watch. It's not even gonna load in time. My FX book is like load so slow. So slow. It's not even gonna load. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, way short. Everybody is way short the dollar. All right, get your orders ready. Here we go. 8 seconds. I got in a small trade. I actually think that it might go down initially, but I did get in a small trade. Here comes the spikes. Spiky, spike, spike. Oh yeah, here comes Mr. Spiky. Did they lower interest rates? I almost guarantee that they didn't. I don't even want to look. I would almost guarantee they didn't lower interest rates. Whoops. No, they kept it the same. Which honestly, I feel like if they lowered interest rates at this point, I feel like Powell would be like look like such a fool. Yeah, I mean honestly, Powell has been saying for 2 years that they're not going to lower interest rates until they get to 2%. If he lowered interest rates today, he would like literally look like the biggest fool ever. I feel like, but he probably doesn't want to do that. So now we have to. I'm gonna obviously watch these charts for a few minutes, but now we have the press conference coming in 30 minutes, which I have it queued up. All you have to really do is search FOMC, or whoops, FOMC, not FOMC, FOMC. So all you really need to do is search FOMC on YouTube, and you can find the Federal Reserve website or the Federal Reserve YouTube page. So we're gonna watch that, but that doesn't start for at least a half an hour. Yeah, not a very dramatic move, honestly. Everybody's scalping the living heck out of it right now, aren't they? Let's watch it on the 1 minute time frame. We should have bought the dip, honestly. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what Powell says, aren't we? Nothing too dramatic yet. We were definitely right about it going down first. Yeah, the news just came out. We were definitely right about gold going down first. So, I mean, geez, you could have just scalped probably a pretty good amount of pips right there just from that one little move right there. Probably in and out within a couple of minutes. Yeah, heck yeah. We were definitely right about that, weren't we? So this is kind of what happens during those live meetings that I was telling you guys about. Every single day I do these live meetings, and I do these meetings during news events. That's why I do it during the London session open, and I do it during the New York session open. I do meetings every single weekday. I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday 90-minute meetings. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday 90-minute meetings every single weekday, and it's only $30 a month. So if anybody's interested, definitely check it out. It's extremely cheap. But during these meetings, we're usually trading the news. Trying to figure out what direction the news is going to go, getting in and out real quick, and trying to trade the news. That's why I moved the sessions to 1 o'clock UK time because Normally, the dollar news comes out at 1:30 UK time, so now I can be in a Zoom meeting with all my members at the time of the news. So let's watch this for a few minutes and see what happens. I'm probably gonna end up buying the dip. It's probably gonna wait for Powell now, though, isn't it? Probably gonna wait for Powell now, which comes in about 30 minutes. So in about 5 minutes or so, I'll start taking some requests from people in the audience so we can start looking at some other things because we have some time now until the press conference starts. You really want some ads, and you can put it on the 15-second time frame, which I think you have to be a premium member to watch the 15-second time frame. I don't think everybody can watch this time frame. There we go. Now we got some action. Now we can see some movement. Boy, this is definitely not the type of trading I do, that's for sure. So, yeah, we can start. You think the dollar's going to go up? Yeah, maybe. I don't think the move down on the dollar's done yet, but maybe. There's way too many people selling this thing. There's no way they're going to let all that. There's no way they're going to let all these people make money. 80 some odd percent of traders are short. Yeah, right. They're not going to allow that. They're going to be like, I don't think so, suckers. Alright, so yeah, I can't watch this sort of a time frame. Let's see here. Now we're gonna definitely have to wait for the news to come out. So if you guys want, we can definitely take a few requests, spend the next 25 minutes doing that. Yeah, gold went down, definitely. Yeah, we were just talking about how gold was gonna go down and then likely maybe back up later on. We'll see if that's what it actually does or not, but that's definitely what I think is likely to happen. I think it's likely to do a bear trap today. Probably almost everybody is short on these pairs right now. That's the problem. Let's see. How about gold? Whatever. I bet the sentiment is just crazy one way on gold. It's actually not bad. It's almost 50-50 on gold. The euro dollar is 84% short. The pound dollar is 89% short. Where's some of these other ones? Where's the Aussie dollar? So yeah, right there's the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar, 85% of people are short right now. They're not gonna let all those people make money. No way. Most people are probably scalping right now, anyways. So let's see. Yeah, let's start checking some things out. Yeah, they'll definitely change quickly. Well, people will probably stop buying the dip if it does go down. People are going to try to buy the dip if it goes down too, so it probably will change pretty dramatically, won't it? So I see that there's already a ton of requests up above, but I'm not going to scroll back and try to catch all those. So if I did miss something, definitely let me know. Yeah, I think the monthly analysis is I definitely think the monthly and weekly analysis is right, but I mean, the problem is you don't really, you could be 100% right on the weekly, monthly, and daily, but then on the sort of time frames, it could do all kinds of crazy stuff. And but you look at the weekly, like 2 weeks later, and the thing will be like way up here, and you'll be like, oh, I was right about that. But then on the daily, on the 1 hour or something, it would be like just a crazy old big old mess. It'd be like doot 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 boop boop doot doot boop, like all over the place. So being right on the weekly, monthly is one thing. Being right on the sort of time frames is the more challenging part. So, anyways, let's see. I guess I'll start just right there. I see somebody was wanting oil. We'll check out oil real quick. I think oil potentially turned in a big way. Yeah, I mean, it did respect that 78%, but I'm starting to think that we got the end of a wave C on oil. I think we might have a higher low. I think this might be a one, two, three, four, 5 waves down for wave C. Yeah, I'm still in the pound Aussie. It's not really doing what I want it to do, obviously, but I got some of my trades are very, very low, so I definitely still in the profit. So if you go up to the weekly time frame on this, if you go up to the weekly time frame on this, I kind of think this is a wave A. I think that we're in a wave B, and it might be starting to go up already for a wave C. I think the wave C possibly did make a higher low, and this is an A, B, C, or B, and then it's going to go down for a wave C probably this fall, or maybe towards the middle of summer. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, I kind of feel I have a good feeling that oil's going up. I just need to see a break of start to really confirm it. I mean, I guess it's definitely possible. It still makes an ABC correction, bounces out the Fibonacci level, and then continues down and makes a bigger wave C, because wave Cs normally do take out the lower wave A, but you get higher low wave Cs all the time, so you definitely could end up doing a move like that for sure. So I was just making sure everything's good across the board. Yeah, good to go. So yeah, I'm not gonna go down to the 1 hour time frames on these requests, but I definitely will check out, the weekly, daily, 4 hour. No problem. Let's see. I don't really personally look at the short time frames much, to tell you the truth. Truth. Yeah, let's check out the pound Aussie. I'm still long on the pound Aussie. I've been long for a very long time. I have 4 open entries on this thing. I personally still think it's going up. I mean, I think this is not really too much to worry about. And honestly, if this does go up, I mean, the dollar might go. It's kind of almost moves the same and slightly, definitely not totally. But if this does go up, then the dollar might end up going up too, which would drive some of these dollar pairs down. So I think there's a good chance that this is going to go up, make a wave C, in my opinion. I think this is a 3-3 pattern. I think it's 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And the move up actually should technically, if it's a regular flat, should potentially go near these highs, someplace between 90% and 105% of that move down. And then it should start a downtrend for like a wave C. So 3 waves of A, 3 waves of B, 5 waves of C. So, like I said, these are trades that I've been sharing with the members of my group. I'm definitely still long. I ended up going long. I've been buying this dip right here. I think I bought it right around these lows. This is my most recent entry. And then I also have an entry right here. And I also have another entry right here. And then my first entry is way down here someplace. So I'm in this thing 4 times already. So I'm pretty heavily long the pound right now, the pound Aussie. I'm very, very heavily long. I mean, if it goes down and starts breaking structure very dramatically, then maybe I'll end up changing and getting out. But as of right now, the higher time frames don't really give me a reason to get out yet. I mean, I guess you could possibly say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe we're gonna make a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then up again, like a wave 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's definitely possible. And if it does happen, whatever. I'm not going to get out of anything. I'm just going to hold for the wave two. If anything, I might get in again at the end of a wave two. So for now, definitely still holding on that. Yeah, I was just saying now that if I was just saying that again, Barry, too. I was saying that if this actually does go up on the pound Aussie, then the dollar could definitely end up going up too, for sure. So yeah, we'll see. Kind of a little bit hedging, I guess, in a way you could say. But we'll see. I mean, it definitely looks like it could be 5 waves, so don't get me wrong, it definitely could turn down. Just so far, I don't really see any evidence for like 100% for sure that this is over. I mean, this literally still could be a correction, and it literally could just keep on trending up. So for now, I'm definitely holding. No reason to get out. If the market gives me a reason to get out, then I'll get out. and I'm still going to be profitable because I got one trade from here, one trade there, one trade here, and then one trade there. So worst case scenario, I'll still make some money on it, even if it does go start breaking structure down. So let's see. Yeah, we did the pound Aussie. The Aussie dollar we kind of been covering because do I do think that I think the Aussie dollar is pretty damn clear. I mean, you could possibly try to call this a wave five, which I think probably a lot of people are, but if it was a wave five, then you would have a wave one and a wave two here that would match it, like a one, two, three, four, five. And we definitely don't have that. What we have is a one, two, three, four, five, and then we have an A, B, C, and then we have the end of a correction. I think it's a wave one, I think it's a wave two, and I honestly do think this is going to keep on going up for a wave three on the daily. Now, that doesn't mean this thing couldn't possibly push down today. It could possibly push down a lot. Who knows? It might even go down and fill this whole candle. But I'm definitely still very bullish until proven otherwise. 100%. Definitely still bullish until the market proves me otherwise. The trend is your friend. That's the affirmation that I've been talking about in the group today, this afternoon in the New York meeting. The trend is your friend. Trend is your friend. You would need to say that about 200 times per day until you believe it. What does that mean? That means if the trend is up on the daily, weekly, monthly, what the heck am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be doing basically nothing but looking for longs on every single chance I get. Long, long, long. Just literally long, 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 long. Every single place that I see, go long. Now, when the trend turns down on the daily, weekly, monthly, then I'll start going short. But right now, I still think this is a WXY on the monthly. I still think this is a wave one of wave Y. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I think this is a wave A of wave Y. I think this is an ABC, like a wave B of wave Y. And I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C of wave Y. That's definitely what I think is going to happen on the monthly time frame. So definitely looking forward to that potentially being an outcome. Hopefully, for the next 6 months, I'm going to be doing nothing but going long on the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the Aussie dollar, the Kiwi dollar, and probably short the dollar CAD and maybe the dollar Swiss even. I don't know though. That some of those Swiss pairs to me still look like they could go up for sure. So that dollar Swiss maybe could be moved for other reasons. Definitely. So yeah, let's see here. So yeah. So yeah, anyways, let's see. Yeah, I'm not very sure. I don't. What is that? UA8s? I don't know. Is that a cryptocurrency or something? I'm definitely not a crypto guy, but normally I don't mind looking at pretty much anything. Let me see. Let me scroll up it a little bit. I saw there's all kinds of things that people wanted me to look at. Let's see. We already did pretty much all the dollar pairs. Guess we'll just focus on the dollar today more than anything. I guess. USD. I think you meant something else, Dev. Harvinia. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is. What do you mean, Dev? Oh, the Yo Aussie. Okay, sorry, I saw the Yo Aussie. Sorry about that. This little emoji thing gets in the way sometimes. I can't see people's comments until they move up a couple. So sorry about that. All right, so yeah, the Yo Aussie. I was also long the Euro Aussie. I was break even on this because I was able to get my 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I think I originally got in right here. I was able to scale out of 50% of it someplace up here, and then the second half of it just went down and took me out. But I was able to make enough money on the first half so that the second half didn't really matter. It was more or less a break even trade. I mean, I would like to say that the Yo Oz is going up for this wave C, just like we thought that the Pound Aussie is doing. I mean, I would definitely like to say that because if that's the case, I might get back in, but we'll see. The Yo is extremely weak right now, and we were looking at the Yo index today in my membership. I always look at these indexes. For me, these indexes are just so extremely important. If this Euro index is telling us the correct story, this is either a wave A or a wave one. This is either a wave B or a wave two, and potentially this is actually all part of either a wave C. Which, if it is a wave C, then this would potentially go down to the 100%, or potentially it's a wave three, and if it's a wave three, it would probably go down to the 161.6. Yeah, that's what we would. That's exactly what we've been calling it, Divine. Definitely, definitely. We've been calling it an expanding flat, definitely. On the daily, that's exactly what we've been calling it. Wave A, and then expanding flat wave B. One, two, three waves down, one, two, three waves up, and then maybe this is still an expanding flat because wave C is supposed to be five waves. What was your request, Mehmet? I didn't see it, buddy. We already looked at the Aussie dollar like three times, so if you need to unsubscribe because of that, then more power to you, I guess. But I definitely will be focusing on the dollar pairs more than anything, definitely. So I think this is potentially an ABC cut, and it's definitely what I expect to see. We literally just did the Aussie dollar like 3 seconds ago, so you must have missed it. So, anyways, man, that definitely could reverse, huh? And like Holden Hope was saying, and like I was saying, if the Aussie goes up, then the dollar could possibly go up too. So I mean, we can't totally cross that out as a possibility for sure. Definitely not. So hopefully we're going long on the euro dollar all summer, but man, you never know. The market can do really whatever the heck it wants to do. So yeah, what I was just saying about the Aussie dollar is that I think we're in a wave three. I think this is a one, I think this is a two, and I think we're in a wave three, which I think is potentially going to spend most of the summer going up. But I mean, it always could end up doing something different. I mean, this could even be like a one, this could be like an expanding flat wave two, and it could go down, like that. I mean, I'm always trying to look at both sides of the coin, definitely. I always try to look at both sides of the coin, the bullish and the bearish version, definitely. Man, that gold doesn't really, man, gold is definitely not moving as much as some of these other dollar pairs are. Yeah, gold is, a lot of the other dollar pairs made a very dramatic move to the upside today, and gold didn't. Which tells me that gold is actually still probably pretty dang bearish overall, right? Because if all the other dollar pairs pushed up extremely hard on the daily time frame, like today, all the dollar pairs pushed up very hard, but look at gold. It just looks like a normal candle. This daily candle is like nothing even special at all. Which a lot of people in my group today we were talking about gold, and a lot of people in my group were calling this a wave one, a wave two, and then this is a one, two of three, right? One, two, three, four, five of three, and then A, B, C of four, and wave five. And like I said, I always try to look at the bullish and the bearish version of each pattern. And for me, that's one of the best parts of being in a group, anyways, being in a community of traders is, seeing other people's opinions. So, I mean, if you haven't joined my free Discord channel, definitely do it. It is 100% free to join. You never do have to pay a dime if you do not want to. You can stay a free member for as long as you want. Share your charts, share your analysis, interact with other people. The only thing that's not allowed is scamming and spamming. Everything else is pretty much good to go. I don't really care what kind of trading strategy you use. As long as you're there to support the community, I don't really care. But I'm still very bullish on gold, which is why I'm still kind of thinking that this is a way. I still kind of think this is likely a wave one or a wave two, and I still think it's kind of likely to wave three. And if it is a wave 3, then it should go up to the 161.8 before we see too dramatic of a move to the downside. Something like that. So for now, I'm definitely still very bullish for sure. But even if it does make 5 waves down, like I was just saying, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, that still is probably an ABC correction to the uptrend, right? 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double zigzag wave B, and then 5 waves down for the wave C. It's probably still a ABC correction to the uptrend, even if it does end up doing that. Which I still leaning towards it may not do that. I'm still leaning towards up just because I think that we're in a wave 3, and a wave 3 is supposed to be the biggest, strongest wave of a trend. So I'm definitely still leaning towards up just because of that fact alone, but it might surprise you. It definitely did. And like I said, but one of the best parts of being in the community is listening to other people's analysis, and I totally agree that this could turn into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, 4, 5 pattern like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely could do that. Yeah, exactly. You never want to be. As soon as you think that you're 100% sure what the market's going to do, that's when that market is going to slap you in the face and take all your money away from you. So we have to be careful of that, definitely. So let's see here. Let's check out the Russell 2000. I last week I just recently added all these indices to my list right here that I look at every single day for my premium members in our daily Zoom meetings. I took away the Russell because in my personal trading account I can trade the Russell 2000, but in my funded account, my Darwin account, I can't trade the Russell 2000. So I took it off the list because I want to be able to trade it in both accounts so that way I can grow both accounts at the same time with a trade copier. Every single trade I take on my personal account gets copied to my funded account instantly, so I want to make sure that if I'm trading something on my personal account, that it will also be on my it's not technically it's not a funded account, but I call it a funded account. It's more like a money managed account, but either way. Uh, I don't know what that is. I guess I could look at it. I guess I can look it up. The problem is I don't know what that is, and sometimes these really oddball things I just don't really have a clue what they are. So, the UA8 USD. It's the Ukrainian dollar. Okay, okay. Yeah, I've never looked at this in my life. I have no idea what it. Wow, look at that. That thing is. It must be pegged or something, huh? Yeah, that thing is definitely pegged, isn't it? It's like the U.S. dollar turkey. Here, let me look it up on the dollar pair list. It's like the Turkish U.S. dollar. Where is it? Right there. What is it again? UA8 USD. Yeah, if this thing is pegged like the Turkish dollar, then there's really no point in even really looking at it. Look at the Turkish dollar is pegged also to a point, which means that it doesn't really trade on a normal basis. Yeah, I mean this is definitely a downtrend. I mean there's really not much to say besides that, buddy. It's a downtrend. Look at it. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I apologize, but the only thing I would be doing is buying. I would be selling every single pullback that I see. Every single time I saw it go up, I would just sell. And besides that, I really can't really give you any analysis because this thing is definitely pegged or something. It definitely doesn't trade like a normal currency. That's 100% for sure. It's like the Turkish dollar. If you look at the Turkish dollar, except for the Turkish dollar is not quite as bad as that one. The Turkish dollar also, I mean, there's really hardly any point of even analyzing it. It's pretty much unreadable. Definitely wouldn't be trading that. But the ruby dollar, I thought I had on the list already. I thought it was is it RUB? I thought it was USD RUB. I think it's the other way around, isn't it? USD. Uh, RUB. Maybe not. I don't know. This is the Russian dollar. That's probably not. Honestly, that's probably kind of a not a very good one either. Honestly. Yeah, at least it's not like that other one you asked me about. Yeah, I would look at this as a possible ABC correction for sure. I would definitely be looking for sorting opportunities. I would probably want to see it take out this high right here, do a good liquidity sweep, and then I would probably try to go short. Definitely. Yeah, look at this thing on the 4 hour time frame. Do you trade this pair, or do you trade this other one I just looked at for you? Do you trade these pairs, or are you just curious because of the exchange rate or something? A lot of people sometimes will ask me to analyze something for them because they're concerned about the exchange rate when they transfer dollars to a different currency. I've had a few people ask me questions based on that alone. They want to know when a good time to transfer the dollars into pounds is or something. Yeah, we're gonna stream the speech that's starting in a minute. If you want to watch the speech, just type in. I'm gonna stream it here on my channel, but just type in FOMC on YouTube and it'll pull it right up for you. It's about to start. It starts in 1 minute, so we're definitely gonna watch this. I'm not gonna actually listen to it. I'm not gonna have the sound playing, but we are definitely gonna watch it because I want to know when it's over. Basically, I want to know. First of all, I want to know when the press conference starts. Which usually the press conference starts about 20 minutes in or so. It should be starting pretty much any time. Oh, is this the old one? Do I not have the right? Oh, there we go. Is this not the right one? Is this an old one? It is too. It's September 20th. My God. What the heck? That's not even the right speech. It's because I put FOMC V instead of C. There we go. Bloomberg, Federal Reserve. Here we go. Here's the man. He's ready. June 12th. Yeah, no problem, buddy. I don't mind looking. I don't mind looking at stuff. I just, for as far as what that something like that's going to do, it's kind of it's almost a little bit on the unreadable side, just because of the fact that it's kind of pegged a little bit. As soon as Powell showed his face, things started moving on the dollar pairs. I see. Like the minute he walked onto the stage, things started moving a little bit. Overall, I'm definitely still pretty bullish. That's for sure. All right, let's see here. Come on, you can do it. Get rid of this thing. You have to have that there? I guess you do. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we can still check out on our charts and we can see what this guy's up to at the same time. Ah man, we need to make a drinking game out of this. Like I was saying last time, every time he says the word inflation, you gotta take a shot. Every single time he says the word inflation, you gotta take a shot. You'll probably be pretty damn drunk, that's for sure. All right, let's see what he has to say. Like I said, I'm not actually interested in what he has to say, but let's see what the market actually does. Probably gonna start getting pretty wild here, I would imagine. I would definitely think that it might go down a little more just to grab some liquidity. I wouldn't be surprised if it went down quite a bit. Yeah, exactly. I gotta draw some faces on him. Oh, now he's looking at GDP. Look, he's got some charts ready to go and everything. He's prepared today. He's ready to go. horns we gotta draw real quick. Like that. Make them a little up. A little mustache. Make him smoking a big old cigar. There we go. Now let's see what he has to say over the next few. I call that a cigar, but it's not a cigar. So, anyways, yeah, let's see what happens over the next 30 minutes while he's talking about this. I think it probably is going to go down some more. It definitely seems like it possibly will go down some more. Yeah, definitely. I figured you would know Yen Berry for sure. The trademark pow horns, mustache, and a big old cigar. Blazing Pow, there you go. Blazing Pow, that's a pretty funny one. I don't really mind Powell. I honestly kind of respect the fact that he hasn't lowered interest rates yet. I guarantee he's got a lot of pressure on him to lower interest rates. Oh, hey, I got these lines here justifying when the news was coming out, so we can get rid of some of those lines. Let's see, is gold? Gold is probably gonna. I think gold is potentially gonna try to go down a little bit more. Or possibly it could just keep going down. Like I said, don't get me wrong. It definitely, the dollar could go up. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, well, we gotta wait for the press conference. It's definitely gonna pick up. You gotta wait for the Q&A. The Q&A usually comes about 25, 30 minutes into the speech. So we definitely got about 20. Oh, whoops! I already raced the horns. We already got about 25 minutes or so until things are gonna start to pick up again. But you definitely got to give it a little bit of time. 100%. Yeah, whatever happened with the yen pairs? Did they make much of a move? The yen definitely is one of the bigger risk on currencies, so risk off, risk on currencies. With the Swiss, which the Swiss is another one that I'm trying to keep an eye on lately. I mean, I think the only strategy on the yen pairs is to buy the dips. It's pretty much the only thing you should have done over the last 5 years, 4 years. Zoom out on the 4 hour time frame and just tell me how buying the dip would have done over the last 4 years. Pretty dang good, that's for sure. Three-way pullbacks go long every single chance you get. Just keep on hammering it. It already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways down. If it breaks structure, then I would probably go long or potentially look for a long at the end of a pullback. Definitely, definitely. It kind of looks like it already ended a crescent, doesn't it? The pound yen is the same. It kind of looks. Oh, the pound yen is actually different because the pound has been so strong. Yeah, the pound is. I think the pound is probably potentially going to go up to the 100% Fibonacci extension eventually on the daily, weekly time frame. I definitely still think we're in a wave three on the pound yen for sure, 100%. I'm calling this a big old wave three. I think we're likely to go up here before we start the wave four, which the wave four is probably going to last at least 6 months or more. And then we're probably going to have a wave five. Oh, yeah, I would imagine so, huh? I gotta check. I mean, I guess if I really squinted my eyes, I could try to call that like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 too. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, it could go up. I just have learned my lesson with the counter trend moves lately, that's for sure. So, the pound yen, I'm definitely still pretty bullish for now, 100%. I still think there's a pretty good chance that it could keep going up. I think more than likely this is the end of a crescent back here. More than likely this is a wave one, a wave two, and more than likely we are in a wave three. definitely, yeah. Yogan, same thing. Like I said, I think the only strategy on the yen pairs is to, you can't hear me? I wasn't talking. I could turn the volume up a little bit. I heard somebody in one of my comments say my volume was too low. Let's see. I don't want to turn it up too much. It gets loud. All right. There we go. Oh, they're already doing the questions, aren't they? Yeah, they're already doing the Q&A. That's good. Hopefully I don't have to sit here until 8:30. I'm going to be ready for dinner before then. So yeah, I think the only real strategy is to buy the dip on the yen pairs. One, two, three waves down. One, two, three waves. Go long. I mean, if it breaks structure, I would look for one, two, three wave pullback to go long again. Definitely, 100%. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a comment on one of my videos recently saying my volume was too low, but if I turn it up too much, it gets really loud and it gets like squeaky and really awful. So I try not to turn it up too loud. Yeah, honestly, boy, the CPI was definitely the big news event of the day, wasn't it? Compared to this, you would have thought the CPI would have been the big news. We got somebody in Canada talking tonight too. I don't really know what they're up to, but there's a speech tonight in Canada, so keep an eye on those Canadian pairs later on tonight too. You might see a move on the Canadian pairs also. Never know. Sometimes those CAD pairs can be some really good moves. Definitely. So, yeah, it's nice. I'm glad they're already doing the Q&A, that's for sure. So, let's see. Let me go back to the chat so I can see. What's for dinner? I don't know. The wife's making something. I think she's making like a chicken noodle casserole type thing or something. I don't really know. She said that she was eating dinner though, and my dinner would be cold because she's not gonna wait till 8:30 for dinner though. So I was gonna have to heat my dinner back up. So that's all right though. I got a microwave. I'll get it heated up. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, your dinner will be cold by the time you get to it too. That sounds about right. Definitely. That's all right though. Even after I did her a favor today. So let's see. I kind of want to scroll through some of these pairs. Man, I'm definitely that Euro CAD. I'm gonna try to get along on that maybe tomorrow or something, or maybe Friday, depending on what it does. Are these Swiss pairs gonna turn up, or what are they gonna do? They kind of look like they could turn. These are some potential trades I've been looking for as the entries on these Swiss pairs. I don't think I'm interested in going long on that anytime soon. I don't really think I'm gonna get back in this unless it makes it a break of structure at this point. I'm not gonna go long unless it breaks structure. Then I'll go long after the break of structure. So if it does go up, I'll get in at the end of a wave too. Definitely, definitely will get in for that. Boy, that Euro Kiwi just keeps on pumping down. Been some good sorts on that thing. Pound CAD. I think I saw somebody talk about the pound CAD. Definitely bullish, but these Fibonacci levels that we're coming up to are definitely pretty significant for sure, 100%. So if it does make a 3, 4, 5 up there, break a structure, that'd probably be a good time to get out or look for sorts. But until then, definitely on the long side, that's for sure. I went long the pound Swiss just because I didn't want to miss the trade, but hopefully this is the end of a Crutzen. I mean, it's probably likely to kind of mess around with me a little bit, but hopefully this is the end of a Crutzen right here. It possibly could go down to a lower fib level before it actually does go up, so we'll see if that actually does what I hope it does. I'm still long the pound Aussie, and like I said, until the daily really proves that it's over, I'm not getting out. I mean, if it starts to, even if it closes below that, I don't really think it proves that it's over. I think it has to close below this structure to prove that it's over. And yeah, by the time it gets down there, I'm probably going to be not as profitable as I would have been, but I got an order here, I got an order there, so yeah, it's probably going to be pretty much break even by the time if it does go there. But if this thing just suits up, this is going to be really good. Oh yeah, that Yo Kiwi's hitting the 278. That's another really important level. How come I don't have my fib set up like that? Yeah, I don't know. I think I changed it at some point. Oh, that's why, because I was thinking that maybe the wave C is already over, but hmm. So for now, I would definitely be looking for shorts on that, 100%. But yeah, boy, that 278 is a pretty significant area if it really is a flat, which I don't really know if it really is anymore, but that's definitely going to be a pretty significant area if it is a flat. All right. USPLN, yeah. I think I have that on my list. Pound, so where was I? Yeah, pound QE. Just kind of scrolling through, checking out these 4 hour time frame charts while we're waiting for Powell to finish with his low speeds. Let's see. Aussie CAD. Ooh, that's definitely bouncing from a fib level. I mean, there is definitely 100% a chance that this is an ABC correction. And if the dollar goes up, this will go down. If the dollar goes down, this will likely go back up. So the dollar is extremely correlated to some of these pairs. Especially, I mean, the Aussie seems like it's getting more risk on than it used to be. I feel like the yen and the Swiss used to be the major risk on pairs. Now it seems like the Aussie's stepping up a little bit for risk on currencies. Yeah, that Aussie Swiss, a member of my group got in this trade. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I was in it too. Definitely looks like the end of a correction. Oh, it definitely looks like the end of a trend, which if it is the end of a trend, then it's most likely the end of a correction also. Because this trend is probably a trend for a wave C, if anything. Aussie Kiwi, nice. It's pushing back up. That makes me feel better. Because now, if I see 3 waves up, I will know what to do. That's for sure. So, if anybody hasn't done so, definitely make sure that you join my 100% free Discord channel. I'm probably going to be doing giveaways on pretty much a monthly basis. So, definitely join my Discord channel. It is 100% free to join. I mean, my membership is definitely not free, but my Discord channel itself is 100% free to join. My membership is only $30 a month. It's $30 a month, and it includes all my swing trade setups and all these live sessions. So definitely check that out. The link for that is on the screen, which is fxpipcollector.com. Pretty easy to remember, that's for sure. I definitely am not making much money from YouTube. No, I make a few $1,000s a month on my memberships. I will be the first person to admit that. But YouTube pays me a few $100s a month. But my videos are 3 minutes or less. If I made 12, 15 minute videos, then I potentially would probably make a lot more. But no, I don't make anything. I make pretty much $200 or $300 a month off YouTube. Definitely not much going on there. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. The memberships, like I said, obviously is what pays the bills when it comes to making money from doing what I'm doing. That's good that it's going up, definitely. Ooh, that made another pretty good little dip down, but boy, now it looks even better for the long. Look at that, boy. That right there looks like the end of a. That could definitely be the end of a correction, possibly. If it continues up, that is, but. Let's see. The Kiwi CAD, I don't really trade these ones, but I definitely am still bullish. Just because my broker doesn't offer them for some reason. Definitely still bullish on that. Gold, boy, gold might end up going down a little more than we think, to be honest with you. Let's see what this happens after this speech right here. We can't really make any decisions until that's over, that's for sure. I think silver is very close to going up, which is why I feel like gold possibly could go up too. So I think silver is very likely a correction. We're at the 50%. I mean, it doesn't mean it has to stop there. It could possibly go down to the 61 or even the 78. But yeah, I think that silver is also going up to about $36 an ounce, roughly. Oil, I think, is possibly going to break structure within the next week or so. Natural gas, my target for natural gas is up above these highs. This is another one that we definitely should be long on. Definitely. And like I said, I'm now analyzing all these indexes. I do the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the US 30. I do the UK 100. I do the Euro 50, the German 30, the France 40, the Aussie 200, the JPY 225, and I do the Bitcoin every single day in my premium membership. Zoom meetings every single day. I do these Zoom meetings. Every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do a London Zoom meeting. And every single Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do a New York Zoom meeting every single day. And it's more about analysis and teaching, but we also are looking for trades during the meetings every single day. But just be aware that I am definitely not a scalper. I get way too many people that join my membership thinking that I'm a scalper, and then they're disappointed when I'm not. So I really need to make it clear that I am not a scalper. 100% have no desire to scalp. Boy, Bitcoin definitely looks like the end of a correction. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably in a wave 5. I personally think Bitcoin's going to possibly turn it to 78%. But the 61.8% is also a really good target for wave 5. And the 61.8% is right around the 78,000, which would be new all-time highs. So technically 74,000 I think would be all-time highs also. So my likely targets for Bitcoin is either the 50% or the 61.8% right now. Like I said, these indices, I just literally just started trading them last week. I haven't really done a whole lot with them. We've had some pretty decent trades on them so far, but I haven't done a whole lot of analysis on them yet. I pretty much just started trading them. I always did the S&P 500, but the rest of them I just recently started trading. Let's see, what do we got going on? Looks like the dollar pairs are trying to push down a little bit more, which honestly kind of makes a little bit of sense to me. It's definitely kind of makes sense for them to be going down a little bit. Gold is pushing down. Gold is about ready to sweep these lows, just like we were talking about earlier. Yeah, they definitely follow the dollar pairs, the S&P 500 definitely. I think that the German, the French, the Euro, and even the UK are pretty correlated, also. And then obviously Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the US 30, and probably the Dow Jones, and all those are obviously pretty correlated also. So, what's this guy up to? Guess we're gonna have to watch this and see when this is over. We'll leave it on gold for now. If gold starts to push up, now that it's swept these lows, if gold starts to push up, it's probably gonna be a long. But I would be very, very, very cautious. It could potentially keep going down. I mean, this definitely looks like it could be a correction on the 1 hour time frame. Kind of looks like more like a trend, but it definitely could be a correction. It bounced out to 50%. We got a nice drop-based drop right there. Right, it turned right at that drop-based drop too, almost perfectly, which lined up perfectly with the 50% Fibonacci retracement. So if it does decide to turn back up on the shorter time frames, it probably is a long, but I would have to see it turn up pretty solid. I would probably have to see something like that before I would even think about going long. Dollar yen, I was just saying, the only strategy on the yen pairs is to buy the dips. I would literally buy every single dip I saw on the yen pairs. Obviously, not just, without, you don't want to just buy like as it's going down, but anytime you see a three-way pullback on the dollar yen, you need to be buying the dips as 100% on any of these yen pairs. It's been an amazing strategy for 4 years, and there's nothing saying that it may not continue to be an amazing strategy for another year or two. We also have yen news. I'm pretty sure this evening, right? Is it tonight or is it tomorrow night? I think it's tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night. Tonight is the Aussie news. We got Aussie news tonight. Tomorrow we got CPI, PPI news, which is a pretty big deal. Unemployment news tomorrow. And during this news right here, I will be live streaming for my Zoom for all my premium members during this news tomorrow for the dollar. That's why I make my meetings start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for my premium members. If anybody is interested, the link for that is fxpipcollector.com, which is right here on the screen. But that's why I do those meetings at 1 o'clock, so that way that we can watch the news together pretty much every day. But Friday morning or Thursday night, depending on where you live, is the interest rate for the JPY. Last time they raised interest rates, and I think that they actually want inflation to go up a little bit, so they possibly could raise them again, honestly. Definitely possible that they raise them again. They might not, but somebody was telling me that this is the first time they've raised rates in years. I honestly don't know, but like 10 years or something? I don't know. Something like that, somebody was saying. Probably since 2008, really. So it's the financial crisis. It's probably the last time that they had positive interest rates. So let's see. Give me just a second. I'm going to grab a drink of water. We're going to watch this speech. Once the speech is over, we're going to see what happens. Hey, Chris. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Now that it just broke structure, it might not be a bad idea if it does start to turn. Definitely, if you're gonna trade this news, you gotta trade small because You probably have about the same luck going to the casino and putting your money on the roulette table or something. It's probably about the same odds. Boy, gold does kind of look like it wants to reverse, doesn't it? Let's see what we got for a fib extension on there. No, not really, not at the 100% yet. Yeah, we didn't hit the 100% Fibonacci extension yet. That's right there. Yeah, I see the US dollar yen is trying to reverse back up, and like I was just saying, pretty much the only strategy for me on the yen, every single yen pair is to buy every single dip I see. It kind of looks to me like on the daily time frame, it might be the end of a correction. It might literally just keep on going up pretty easily. If it's because of the dollar, then yeah, it's kind of a sit-su, but I would be a little careful buying that move right there because I honestly do. I don't know. I still feel very, very, very bearish on the dollar for now, but yeah, we already looked at this too. The only strategy on the yen pairs is to buy the dip. My target on the yen pairs right now is this 100% Fibonacci extension on the pound yen, and that's my target right now, which you can't even see it because it's so high, which is right at the 203. Probably if you want to be conservative, 203 is my target on the yen. Now this is a daily time frame target, so it's obviously not just going to suit up there in one move, but 205 maybe too, yeah, maybe. It might overshoot it a little bit. 203 is where my fib is, but might overshoot it to. It might go to 205 if it does like a spike, which often they do spike. Most of the time, price does spike beyond a Fibonacci level. That's why a lot of people say Fibonacci doesn't work because they'll say, "Oh, look, at the 100% fib, went up there, it went down here, and then it caused a spike, like a spike candle." And then somebody will be like, Fibonacci doesn't work. That turned way above the Fibonacci level. And I was like, yeah, but it didn't close above the Fibonacci level. It's just a little spike, a little liquidity grab. So maybe it will spike up to the 205. That happens almost every time, to be honest with you. Yeah, the yen pairs are definitely taking the news as positive. Definitely. So far. We got some Canadian news going on tonight, too, like I was just saying. I don't really know how important it is, but we do have some Canadian news coming out tonight. It's somebody speaking. Macklem is speaking tonight from the Bank of Canada. Not really sure what they had to say and what they're talking about. Probably something to do with the fact that they lowered interest rates last week, but yeah, maybe they'll say something about their plan for future interest rates, and if they do, that could be a mover. Definitely could be a mover for sure. Pretty impulsive down over the last few, but that's pretty normal stuff. A lot of times it goes all the way back to the starting line during this news event. It didn't do it today, at least not yet. But the news came out, the first CPI news came out right here. And sometimes they will go all the way back to where it was before the news even came out. And then it will like go right to there, and then it'll be like doink and just shoot right up. I don't know if it's gonna do it today. And technically, the news that came out today didn't come out until boy right here. Yeah, this big candle right here. So this would technically be the starting line for this news event right here. This is the starting line for the CPI news event down here. definitely both are probably pretty important areas. I mean, even if it does go up, it could literally go to the starting line, kind of bounce around a little bit, and then go back down. Or vice versa, if it keeps drifting down, it could like go right to the starting line, kind of mess around, and then eventually go back up. I'm extremely bullish on the yo until proven wrong, 100%. But that is because of what I see on the daily, monthly, and weekly. Even right here, it doesn't look like a complete pattern. It looks like a wave one, a wave two, a wave three. If anything, we're probably just in a wave four right now. Maybe won't even start a wave five tonight. Maybe it'll start a wave five tomorrow at this rate. So, yeah. Kind of seems like gold could do something like this, to be honest with you. Or if it just keeps on going up and just takes this structure out, I mean, obviously that'd be the end of a trend. Or if it makes a very significant higher low, that would probably be the end of a trend too. If you can identify the end of a wave C by identifying the end of a trend, then you've also most likely identified the end of a correction. Yeah, it seems like CPI news was the big mover today, wasn't it? I think that if CPI came out today, in like the 2.7 or 2.8 or something, they probably would have been like, oh, maybe Powell really is going to lower interest rates. But CPI came in at 3.3 today. That's still very, very high compared to what he wants. He wants it around 2%. He's been saying for 2 years. So I guess it's not really that surprising that it didn't move much. But I think the CPI was the news that everybody wanted to see. That came out this afternoon. Big impulsive move up. And then ever since then, it's just been kind of sideways. But impulsive up, possibly corrective down, could lead to another impulsive up. So keep an eye. We'll see. Sometimes when the speech is over, it can take off. Sometimes when the speech is over, it just literally dies down and doesn't do anything for a while until the Asian session starts. Because you have to remember, it's 8. It's past 8 o'clock in London right now. So I mean, all the banks and stuff are shut down. Maybe they're open because maybe people are trading because of the news event, but London is closed, Europe is closed, New York is 3 o'clock, so I mean it's getting a little bit on the late side there. If it doesn't do much when this speech is over, it's at that point it's probably likely to wait until Tokyo open, or maybe London session tomorrow. It seems like Tokyo does move the gold quite often. I've noticed in the past couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm not a huge gold trader, but I sometimes when I look at gold, I'll see like a pretty decent impulsive move at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning my time, which is pretty much the beginning of Tokyo session, Singapore, whatever you want to call it, Asian session. Well, how much longer is this guy gonna talk? This is always the point where I get so bored I gotta start drawing on him and stuff. Yeah, it seems like they do, doesn't it? Honestly, Seems like they love to trade gold. Australia, all those countries over there, Singapore. Yeah, I can look at the dollar CAD. Usually I like to draw a nice big old beard on his face. Like now it's all gone now. Nice little cool beard. Nice big old cigar. Nice little smoke. Little horns. There we go. Now we're back into the nice artwork. Oh, now she's got horns. Yeah, I'll take out the dollar CAD for you though. Like I said, usually about 40 minutes into the speech is when I start getting bored and gotta draw faces on them and stuff just to keep occupied. Because you're really just waiting for it to be over at this point to see if it's gonna move. And if it doesn't move, then it's probably not gonna move until Tokyo session. Oh, I moved it. God dang it. Right there. Close enough. Solid growth, he says. Solid growth. The economy is just doing so good. People are making less money and everything is costing way, way more, including housing. It's just craziness. Oh, but the economy is doing so good. Yeah, let's see. Dollar CAD. Oh, it's a pretty big reversal on the CAD. We got CAD news coming out right now, too. That's kind of interesting, huh? Like I said, we got CAD news right now, too. Yeah, okay, yeah. I own rental properties and I haven't raised my rent ever since I started them 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I've never raised my rent once. I should though, because it's costing me more money to maintain them. All bought with trading money. Well, one of them was inherited. I fixed it up, but the other one was bought with trading money. So yeah, dollar CAD. I mean, I still think there's a good chance this is the end of a correction on the dollar CAD though. I think it's either like a irregular ABC, like this is an A and this is supposed to be an irregular ABC, a B, and this is a wave C. So just a irregular ABC, I call it. Or this is a wave one and this is an A, B, C, D, E of wave two, and it's going down maybe for wave three, maybe. That's what I've been saying for a while, and that's still what I believe until proven otherwise. Kind of the part that gave it away for me is that this is definitely a trend over here. Right here, this is 100% a trend. Perfect five waves. And ever since then, it's just been sideways, completely overlapping. It's been impulsive A, 1, 2, 3, B, impulsive C, 1, 2, 3, D, impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. Kind of did turn right in between. I mean, you could say it respected the 61.8, but I think that we've already ended a crutch and we've already ended a wave two. This is a trend over here, which is a wave one. And I think there's possibly, maybe it could go back up and retest the 78%, but I definitely think that this possibly could, depending on what happens today and the rest of the week, probably, based on this news and tomorrow's news. We could confirm wave three, or we could totally disprove wave three in the next couple of days. I would say for sure. Because if it doesn't start to make a wave three in the next couple of days, then it pretty much can't be a wave three. And if it's not a wave three, I definitely do have an alternative count on the monthly, but I won't really get into that right now unless it really proves that it. If this count proves to be incorrect, I do have alternative counts on the monthly, weekly time frames, but we'll get into that some other day. Not much going on, huh? We gotta wait and see what happens at the end, but it should be pretty close to over. Usually it's about 45 minutes or so. Really want some excitement? We'll put it on the 15-second time frame on the euro dollar, and we'll watch this for a few minutes while we finish this speech. That's pretty good. I can do 15-second time frame and live stream at the same time and still not drop any frames. So finally got my internet issue resolved. If anybody has been watching my live streams for months now, then you probably realized that I was having some major internet issues a few weeks ago. I thought it was my internet, but it wasn't. It was actually my drivers for the internet. Yeah, you're not kidding, buddy. Boy, these speeches always kill me, and I always want to stay on the live stream until it's over because, I mean, just in case we do get a big giant move starting, which every once in a while it definitely does start moving really fast after the news, after the speech is over. So I'm trying to wait to see what happens. Then we'll go from there. Oops. Sorry. I don't know why when you change something on on one of your second screens, why it has to change on the main screen like that. So looks like pretty much everybody already has become a member of my Discord channel. So definitely thank you for that. Like I said, it is 100% free. You do not ever have to pay a dime ever if you do not want to. So really, there's no reason not to join, and the reason to join is because it's a community of like-minded traders that is willing to help each other out. Teamwork makes for dream work, and like Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, it takes a mastermind group to be successful at anything. I love Napoleon Hill. I'm actually in the process of reading Napoleon Hill right now for probably pretty much every single year for the last probably 5 years. I've read it, along with Trading in the Zone and a few other things. I definitely am a big reader. I don't really so much read. I listen to audiobooks, but boy, there's a ton of audiobooks that you can listen to about trading. I think I've listened to pretty much every single one on Audible, that's for sure. Alright, now I gotta switch my screens back. There we go. Did it fast that time. So, still talking over there. Looks like not much. This is a 15-second time frame, and there's still not much action. Yes, PPI definitely can be a can be a mover for sure. Not like CPI, that's for sure, but it definitely can be a mover. Anything that has to do with like the price of goods or anything that you could interpret as inflationary in any way is definitely a big deal nowadays. Change in the price of finished goods and services sold by the producers. So anything that could be even remotely inflationary at all, about stuff like that is definitely a big deal nowadays for sure. Things change. I remember a few years ago when Brexit was going on, like that's pretty much the only thing that moved the pound was like talks about Brexit. We used to trade the heck out of the pound pairs. Like every time they would say the word Brexit, the pound would just take off. Used to be pretty good, and it would usually happen right at the open of the UK market too. So yeah, Powell. Oh, whoops! I don't even have the speech on anymore. Powell definitely knows how to talk. He definitely reminds me of a boss that I had in the union years ago. That's for sure. He could talk his way out of anything. It's pretty bad when you're on the 15-second time frame and like not really much is happening. Yeah, everybody is just like going on and on and on. So I definitely am going to hang out until this is over. So let's just watch this for a few minutes. I definitely want to see when it's over 100%. So I'm going to move this a little bit bigger and we'll watch this for a few minutes, see what happens. I would imagine that it can't go on too much longer. I'm not really sure what UOM is, so I guess I can't really tell you nothing about it, unfortunately. Oh, consumer sentiment. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Consumer sentiment is retail traders. This is now this is based on a broker. I'm not really actually sure what this broker is based on. I think it might be based on several brokers if you look. Yeah, it's based on these brokers right here. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, but it's based on a broker, so it's broker specific. So as of right now, I don't know if you refresh this, it probably will change. But right before the news, it was 80 some odd percent of retail traders were short on the euro dollar. I'm trying to refresh it so we can see what it says now because it's probably different now. It usually takes a minute for this page to load. I think it's because it has so much data or something. I don't know. Once it loads, I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, it's on my FX book. My FX book is a really, really good website for any trader. I don't care what kind of trader you are. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's got all these calculators. It's got sentiment. You can look at correlated pairs. You can look at economic calendar. You can see a lot of cool stuff. Oh wow, most people are still short. 82% of retail traders are short on this broker, which is a total of a lot. 120 120,000 short positions and 42,000 long positions. Well, actually, that's based in lots, right? So I think it's 120,000 lots to the short side and 42, whatever it is, and then the pound dollar. You can look at all the currencies, but it's broker specific, right? So I mean, if this was Oanda, then there would be Oanda, which we have Oanda one too, but no. Kind of the rule of thumb is if it's over 80%, like if it's over 80% short, then you should kind of be looking for longs. And if it's 80% long or more, like 90% long, then kind of the rule of thumb is that you should look for shorts. You kind of want to do the opposite as retail. Yeah, the retail is liquidity for big money. So if it's like 90% short or even 85, 90% short, then you probably should look for longs and vice versa. That doesn't mean that it won't go down. It just means that it's probably going to eventually trap everybody in a short eventually. But like, let's say the euro dollar does turn down, you know, as it's going down, that's going to change. People are going to stop buying the dip, so it's going to change dramatically. So it's really not that helpful. I just because it's one way or the other, I definitely wouldn't just buy or sell just based on that alone. But if you see something that looks like a good entry, and then you look at that and it's like 80%. If you see like a really good sword or something, and you look at that and it's like 80% long or whatever, then it's probably gonna be a really good chance that your trade will turn out really good. So I wouldn't just trade based on that alone, definitely. But retail traders will win, but usually not for long. The Aussie CAD is 96% short right now. The Some of these pairs I wouldn't trade anyways, but the pound CAD is 96% short right now, and it's been going up like a rocket. The Kiwi CAD has been going up like crazy, and it's 98% short right now. Ooh, is the speech over? No, I see things moving, so I thought the speech was over. The euro dollar is definitely my favorite pair. It's kind of a love-hate relationship, but it's definitely my favorite pair. Just because the spreads are small, and it's something that I actually only traded the euro dollar for quite a few years. But I prefer to spread my risk out because sometimes the euro dollar will go into like a nice little tight range for like 2 weeks at a time. And when that happens for a trend trader like me, it's like, ugh. I prefer just to find something that's actually trending and trade what's trending. He's definitely got a lot to say tonight. That's for sure. Gold is definitely hard. The euro dollar can be hard too, like you said. It likes to range and mess around and trap people because it's one of the most liquid markets. One of the most liquid forex markets is the euro dollar, and then gold is probably way behind it. So it can definitely do a lot of traps and stuff. It's definitely one of my favorite pairs. Yeah, there you go, menu. At least we don't have to look at the lizard lady the whole time. We'll see. It might not reverse until tomorrow, maybe Asian session, or it might just keep going down. For all we know, to be honest with you. When I do trade news, I definitely trade very small. I'm trading like I have like a $5,000 account. I trade very small, just kind of playing around. Yeah, I totally agree. They definitely could. It looks like it wants to turn right now, doesn't it? Honestly, I'll make a hell of a lot more money if the if the pound Aussie and those pairs do end up going up. That's for sure. Because I'm in those pretty heavy. Any dollar trades that I'm in, especially because of the news, I'm extremely light. More just playing around. Probably altogether, it's not even a full lot. Yeah, my chicken noodles casserole thing is getting cold. Definitely. There it is. It's over. It's over. Let's see if it's actually going to do anything now. Might go down quite a bit more for all we know. Or it might not do hardly anything until tomorrow. Let's see. Let's give it a few minutes. Grabbing some liquidity, that's what's up. Yeah, I know those Thanos. That they have a hard time breaking out of those Thanos, don't they? Yeah, definitely. I opened it on there, but it's pretty good rejection so far, no doubt about it. Could be even be a wave 5 or something, for all we know. Or, yeah, I mean, it definitely could be a wave 5, possibly. Maybe this right here is actually the 3. Yeah, about ready to take off, definitely. For sure. Go eat some dinner, relax for a couple hours, check back in before the market closes in 2 hours, or does its turnover. Let me get rid of this. We definitely don't care about that anymore. So, oops. Yeah, we'll see. I would definitely check back. I mean, that trend is definitely 100% down, but if this is like a wave 5 or something, it definitely could go up 100%. So if you are trying to, catch that, you definitely better be in pretty small for sure. I did do some buys on the euro dollar, but they're very, very small. Best case scenario, it goes up here and I make like $200. Worst case scenario, it goes down here and I lose like, I don't know, $75 or something. So we'll see. Anyways, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening. I'm definitely going to go get some food, do some relaxing. I will talk to everybody in the morning. And as always,